All right, guys, welcome back to our podcast. So you might be wondering why we're in a different setup today. Some of you may know...
Julian didn't pay rent in the other studio. That's why.
Cool. All right, so the main reason is we've got a very, very special episode today. This is actually our first guest episode. And for the first one, me and Vithujan, whenever we discuss like who we're going to bring as our first guest, we always think like it needs to be someone special. It needs to be someone who's got something important to say, a good message, something meaningful, rather than just like a comedy kind of video.
Yeah.
So I think we found the right person, and I think it's the perfect way to start a guest
Perfect
episode.
first guest, yeah. Before we introduce you guys, I'm going to drop a few facts about this gentleman here. First of all, he's got one of the sickest fly in the booths out there.
Yep.
Both, like, he's got done a couple in it, like a million views on both of them, more than 1 million views on both of them. And also, a decade later, people are still going back. And if you check the comment section, you can still tell that people are going back, revisiting that video all the time. I've been back on it sometimes when I want to show like my younger generation, like my cousins and friends, listen to this guy. And this guy has collaborated with some household names like Ed Sheeran, Zayn Malik. He's performed with Kano, Reg 32, and English Frank, I would say. He's
obviously low-key.
Low-key as well.
Main man.
He's a humble man. I can tell you that from just speaking to him. We've spoken to him for 15 minutes before the shoot. He's known for his, can I say, aggressive style of performance, lyrics.
I mean, you can
they're very punchy and they get you hyped. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. And the main thing is when it comes to his music, I think personally, I feel like they're very deep and meaningful. They're not just the standard track that's meant to be. It's not made to go like viral, like what people want. It's more like I feel like he does it for himself.
That's it.
But we'll find out more about it on the podcast.
He speaks the truth, and he's actually a lyrical genius, especially for, we'll get into it later on. Yeah. But here we have the one and only, guys.
Mike Reckless! Mike Righteous! You are a savage, a rare breed, a rare specimen! That's when the plan went pop in your face, and if I see you in the flesh, bet I'm popping your chain.
You've been talking about Palestine forever. Yeah. Like the whole BBC times when it got censored.
Can you tell us about that?
In the lyric I said like, I can scream free Palestine, I still die for my pride, I still pray for peace. Yeah. I don't blame people for taking their lives. I know people that are taking their lives.
But then what happened in 2009 was the biggest ethnic cleansing.
More than 150,000 Tamil people got killed within 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you think artists have a social responsibility to talk about these issues?
Do you condemn Hamas?
Oh man, we're gonna have to do another podcast.
We'll have a part 2.
Let's do a part 2 because I really wanna expose a lot of people.
Thank you so much for coming down, man. Thank you.
That was an amazing introduction.
We had to, bro. We had
kept going, man.
Let's get this podcast started. It's gonna be an exciting one. This one, a deep one, and like Julian mentioned earlier, we didn't release any videos in the last month actually.
Last month or so.
Given what's going on in the world right now, and we have brought the right guest for this show today, and let's get into it, Julian.
All right, cool. So before we get into like the deep questions and everything, because I know either way the podcast is always going to be deep with you.
It's bound to be.
It's bound to be deep. So before we get into it, I wanted to kind of start light-hearted, but I still feel like it's going to turn deep somehow. But I'm going to show you a few pictures of a few people. When you see these faces, just tell us briefly like what comes to your mind, or what is it that you... Yeah, like what comes to your mind?
Instantly, what's your first thought that comes to your mind?
It doesn't need to be a word. It could be a phrase, a sentence, or your experience. You might have met these people. You might have not. So let's start with the first person, yeah? You ready?
Brother, just reminds me of that meme, brother, what is that? Brother, disgrace. Honestly, could be from another world. I'm sure it's not human.
Yeah.
I can't refer to it as... I can't be 100% sure.
I fully get what you mean. We knew you were going to say something.
Like, do you know when you said... Do you remember mentioned, you didn't know Mike Right, you saw Mike Right, just like, it's different. I don't know if anyone's actually... If that is a real person. I'm not sure it can't be. I think it's like Mr. Blobby. Remember Mr. Blobby?
There you go.
It's like that.
What if he's an actual industry plant that no one's actually seen?
Oh, man.
Because all you hear him scream is DJ Khaled.
I just think he's the fakest guy in the whole universe, man. Out of all of the people who you can publicly shame, there are people that you'd expect, like you'd expect certain types of people and characters to act a certain way.
Yeah.
But it's the ones you don't that I think are the most shameful.
I
Like,
get what you mean.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I think of him anyway.
Okay.
That's good enough.
I could elaborate, but
no, I think that's plenty, you know.
All right, next, you ready?
Why are you
they're all going to annoy me, I feel like.
There you go.
Oh, no, this is a hero. This is a legend.
Yeah, come on.
This is like educated,
Yeah.
an educated person.
100%.
This is what you can do when you educate yourself.
Yeah. What's your experience like with him? Like, how close are you to Loki?
I mean, I think people think we're closer than we are because we're just very, like...
Sort of similar in terms of, like...
You share the same sort of passion, don't you?
People sort of put us in the same bracket.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
perception
I would, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you actually deep it, like, it's not... We've only met like a handful of times.
Oh, really?
But we just like our interests align.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And he knows that anytime there's an opportunity to do some stuff, like I'll be there, and it helps when your interests
Of
align,
course,
you
of
know.
course,
So
Yeah.
if he's doing a show and it's a fundraiser, he knows that I'll be there, support him.
That's
Obviously, he's a bigger name than me, so sometimes it's hard to get him to things. But I'll always be at the things.
No,
yeah.
no,
But
no.
yeah, I know I respect him. He's got all my respect.
That's
All right, the next person. Let me show you before I show him.
Did you just add that picture on?
Did
Oh
he?
my god.
You ready?
We're doing this. This is Rishi Sunak.
Yeah. Bullet.
Oh man, he's such a weasel. That's the word I'd give him. Weasel, like a weasel. Just a lying weasel. That's it. I just don't think he's able to tell the truth in any
He
scenario.
can't.
Like,
He really can't. Can
no, I saw someone ask him earlier, like, what would you order when you at Nando's? And I'm sure he lied about that as well.
he? What did he say?
He just said half chicken chips and broccoli.
He's
You're
probably
just
never been
like-
Nando's. Of
Yeah,
course he
but
hasn't.
He probably
Who
wouldn't
orders
know.
broccoli at Nando's? No
you
one, bro. I'm
don't.
sure that
No, you don't.
he said he'd order broccoli. And
It must have been rehearsed beforehand.
Yeah.
There's no way someone.
I felt
did
he
that.
was lying. Like
Yeah.
he had. Do you know when people lie, they have this sort of like aftertaste in their face?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you
and
can
they're
tell.
like,
Yeah, the face tells
Oh,
otherwise.
that's him constantly.
Yeah.
I don't even believe myself. At
It's
the
like
moment.
when he went to a homeless shelter and to a soup kitchen serving them food, and he asked the guy, "What do you do for a living?"
Oh yeah. I
And
saw that
and
video.
the guy goes, "I'm homeless, bro."
He said, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?"
yeah,
To that homeless guy.
yeah, on a different
That
street
was
or something.
mad.
innit?
Still homeless.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
fucked.
mad. Properly out of touch, man. But
Fully.
he just reminds me of the pinnacle of all politicians. Just
Yeah.
weaselly, sort of wormy, slimy.
Yeah, it doesn't
But
help
yeah.
that he's brown skinned as well. You know.
Why
help.
doesn't it?
Because because you know, not speaking for my, but I feel like a lot of Indian people, especially North Indians, because you know India is like South India, North Indian. A lot of North Indians feel like they take pride in the fact that
They rate him
the
just
prime
'cause he's
minister
They
is
rate him, yeah.
Indian, yeah.
And I don't like that.
And I tell them, you know what? At the end of the day,
He could be lying about that. We can't be too sure. Obama was definitely lying. I mean, they're all
Yeah.
like,
I
I'm
know.
surprised. A lot of them have got fake names, fake aliases. I might be the wrong person to speak to about this, but
Yeah.
I honestly think they're
but
lying about everything.
I'm pretty sure we all three in this room, 4 of us actually, share the same sort of
Yeah.
ideas about this guy,
Yeah,
views on this
yeah.
guy. Yeah. Anyways, move on because it's getting me heated up, you know. It's pissing me off now already.
A legend.
Legend, yeah.
Yeah,
Rest
that's
in
the
peace.
biggest spliff I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't mean you could have blanked the face and just showed me the spliff. I would have told you who that was.
Or even the Dank of London bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this is what I mean about like people that are just great people. They start movements, and he sparked a very big movement. And
Yeah.
Yeah, we met him in a
Yeah.
Hyde Park corner on 420.
Did
Yeah.
Took a
you?
picture with him, innit?
Yeah, I was gassed. I was like, yo, Black the Ripper's there. This
yeah.
was years back.
We met
Yeah.
Big Nasty there as well.
Big
wasn't
Nasty
it?
was there.
So
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for natural medicines and
course.
plant medicines and
Do you consume it yourself?
plant medicines. Yeah, all
Yeah.
types of plant medicines, even all types of even.
Are
all-
they trying to legalize it in the UK? Yeah. Or
I mean,
already?
we don't- I don't-
medicinal. I think.
Yeah. I mean, most of the there's a lot of really good plant medicines that are legal. We're not just talking about psychedelic plant medicines, but oregano and all types of
Yeah.
Oregano's a plant
I
medicine.
swear
yeah.
that's like Italian seasoning or something.
It's a seasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a herb.
really?
But this is what throughout our history we've used herbs as medicine to cure the human body and the human vessel, and it's been used, especially bitter leaves. They're used to flush out like toxins. And if you look in the wild at all types of like animals, like they don't. We take them to the vet. They're not like banging on the vet's
Yeah,
door.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
help me
yeah,
out.
yeah,
They
yeah,
go
yeah.
and live. They go and eat
That's
grass
it,
for 3
that's it.
weeks.
They
and
need,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah, they know what they're
Nature's
doing.
a lot of properties that can help us, isn't it?
Of course, yeah, but
Yeah.
they don't want to tell us that.
No, of course they won't.
No, that's the patient cured is a customer lost in my opinion.
Any more pictures, Julian?
I got two
Go
more,
on.
but I was gonna say if you don't want to answer on
No, I
one
wanna
pictures,
do it.
it's okay because we can cut it out.
Yeah.
I got two more, yeah.
Okay. See this guy, Piers Morgan. This is the thing about Piers Morgan is like, I think he just sort of, he's one of them guys that's like a floating in between. I mean, he's also, he's like someone who works, like used to work for Area 51 and then they come out and they spill all the beans and you're like,
Yeah.
but I still don't trust you because
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
affiliated with them at
Exactly,
some point.
exactly,
So
yeah, yeah.
That he's been in them. You can't trust him at all.
You can't know.
But
Because sometimes you feel like he speaks in favor of certain, and then next thing you know, he jumps to the other side, you know?
The thing
Right.
is, yeah, as much as like most people might dislike him because of his
Yeah.
views and stuff, and the way, like, for example, I feel like one of the positive that's come out of him doing these interviews is we can clearly see who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah,
So when
yeah.
you watch it, you get mad. You're like,
Because the screen space he gives
Exactly.
anyone from the
Yeah, that's why
Palestine
I'm
side,
kind of unsure about
Yeah,
him, 'cause
exactly.
He
Yeah.
might be very cleverly actually trying to
Exactly.
highlight.
You were saying that the other day.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he could be doing that, but
Yeah.
he might also just be sort of going with the public perception online.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Whatever's
Because-
going to secure him the bag, innit?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to deny certain things.
Yeah.
And so when you press like certain guests that are pro-Israeli and
Yeah.
you can see in their face, in their eyes, and they're coming, they're scrambling, they're clutching at straws to defend themselves, and their arguments are, and they're literally denying decapitated children
Yeah.
that the
Oh,
whole world's seen.
Yeah.
yeah,
And if Piers Morgan is to go down that road with him, it would just completely blow him. It would be, I wouldn't say like career suicide, but
Yeah, yeah,
on his
yeah.
platform, he's stayed very well. He's done a good job at not remaining impartial, but knowing when to
Exactly.
press a little bit
Yeah,
to keep people there. But it's an engaging show, and
yeah.
and he's brought a lot of pro-Palestinian
Yeah, yeah.
guests as well.
Like
I
that, the
I think
Egyptian,
the line of questioning
comedian,
is a bit
yeah.
unfair, but that also, again, like for any sane person can see that and actually be like, well, we're just seeing like the insanity unfold a little bit.
Yeah.
There's one question I hate, which I've been hearing for the last
Obviously.
few months now. Do you condemn Hamas? You know what? I hate that question so much. It's never, do you condemn Israel? It's never that. It's always,
Yeah.
do you condemn Hamas? It's just engraved in my brain, yeah?
Yeah.
it's part of their
just-
script, innit? They give it to like Piers and all these
it
people.
gets
It's
to a
like,
point where you don't even take them seriously anymore. It's just
Yeah.
like a little fucking parrot, innit? You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
swear, by the way, bro.
Oh,
if you
sweet.
want to get your fucking feelings out.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the real problem is like the language that we use, and I think that's a real like gateway to like changing the conversation by just dismantling the abuse of certain buzzwords and phrases
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
language,
yeah.
because the minute you sort of feed into it, you're playing into their game. I really like that interview that was on that's Suella Braverman done
Oh,
with
and
the
with the
college
girl,
student,
with the
she
girl,
just
yeah.
tore her to pieces.
Oh
just
my-
like
she tore her to
can
pieces.
we just like forget this? Like, you guys are actually
Yeah, yeah.
mental. You're so
You know
out of
what?
touch.
She was so brave. I watched that. Like, you sent it to me
Yeah.
the other day.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, if I was in that girl's position, right, sitting there, I
couldn't
think I
hack
would have
it.
stormed out. Even like probably threw a few punches.
we
there,
were-
because
we were-
the way she speaks is so like patronizing, and it's
I think after watching that interview, we were having this discussion. I was actually saying how like I don't think I've got the mental capacity to sit in front of her
Yeah.
and have an interview, because I feel like I'll get so mad at listening to her, and especially that little smile she's always giving,
That
like
cheeky fucking-
like
But
when
is,
she
that-
does it.
is this not the reaction they want from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pro-Palestinian
Yeah,
guests?
that's it,
That's
that's
what
it,
I
that's
think
it.
that's part of the reason
and
why.
that's why you can't get
press
mad.
them,
You
yeah.
can't get mad.
'Cause
Because
then
then
as
what
soo-
will they say?
As soon as you get mad, they're like, "See, these are the terrorists. They're so aggressive."
This is what
See?
they do. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they'll say.
But the best thing to do, especially when like we're out on these marches and these demonstrations, and there are people
it
that always
peaceful.
want to, you just got to keep it as peaceful as possible.
yeah.
And they're like these people that come, these ignorant groups that come and try and disrupt what is actually a peaceful protest.
Do you not
If they
get
get
the-
ignored, they
yeah.
tend to just sort of leave.
You
Like,
get the English Defence League up there as well sometimes, don't you?
yeah, we
What-
do
what business do
sometimes.
they have
I've
there?
only seen them once. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it's just their ideology. They're they're completely brainwashed.
Yeah.
Their perception of life is just
yeah.
completely warped. It's a shame, really. I live amongst a lot of people that have been
I can imagine.
influenced by a lot of.
Is your area not predominantly like English, white English?
Was.
Oh,
I'd say was. Even still is, but it's a little bit more gentrified now.
Okay.
We do pro-Palestine rallies in
yeah.
Margate.
Yeah, I've seen on your
and
stories.
we get about 300, 400 people turn up, especially a day after, when we do emergency rallies, usually a day after some catastrophic event.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people will come out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And then there used to be rallies as well, like UKIP rallies and BNP rallies, far-right rallies, and you
Almost
don't
boil
you
your
don't
blood,
get
innit,
them.
when you see them march there.
we used to have to like stay in the house and stuff.
Yeah.
It was funny, really, because like
They are
I was too
jokes.
young to know what was actually going on.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so I got the last person.
Mm-hmm. Can I guess who? It's not Netanyahu, is it?
Nah.
Is that Kendrick? Oh my god, that was nearly racist. That's AJ Tracy. What do I think of him? Not a bad guy. Like, obviously, we had a rap beef. Well, I was like speaking to a brick wall. I had a
'cause he
one-man
didn't
rap.
respond,
No, but that's what it felt like. Like, it must have felt like I was just sort of punching the thin air. You know what I mean?
But can I ask
was
you,
trying to get.
what started it, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it's just some.
We're not a gossip show, by the way.
No,
but
no, it's all
I'm
right.
a fan of
I'll
him.
keep,
but I
I'll
want
keep
to
it
know.
brief because
yeah,
it is.
please, yeah.
So basically, I think this was like 5 years ago anyway. So
okay.
yeah, I was just online tweeting about some. I think there was this one artist called Fee Gonzalez, and he was trolling the internet and.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like when people troll people, especially like UK rappers, because he said something about all UK rappers are shit. Like,
Oh yeah,
all
yeah.
UK
You get that from Americans a lot, don't you?
But that's what you see. Is like there's no UK rappers that are better than American rappers.
yeah.
And I was like, bro, this guy's crazy. And
Yeah.
he was just talking crazy to everyone. And I see a freestyle that he put up of himself, and he was like, I'm the UK's Lil Wayne. And I was like, that's crazy. I was like, you're shit.
I don't even rate Lil Wayne, to be fair.
Yeah, but anyway, I told this guy he was shit, and it had nothing to do with AJ Tracy. But AJ Tracy must have got annoyed that I got baited into this thing.
Oh, yes.
And then he got baited by the bait, and it's just like a load of rage bait going on. AJ Tracy's reacted, but I was sort of had an album drop in. I could have done with the promo, and he was like doing well, doing bits.
Yeah. Have you guys met in person or?
Do you know what? I don't even think he knows this, but I was at St Pancras train station, and this was a few days after it all happened, and I was just there, and he didn't even know that I was there, and I could just see him, but he was with like 3 people. I was on my own, so
Oh shit.
I thought I better just keep myself to myself.
Nah.
Fair enough.
Well, thanks for sharing that. You don't have to, bro. I just wanted to know.
That's a world exclusive.
Yeah.
There's me hiding behind the like.
Oh god.
All right, cool. So
Oh, well, sorry to interrupt. I know you haven't got a picture, but just curious. What do you think about Jeremy Corbyn?
I like Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
I think when we're talking about voting for someone, I think he's probably the best
only
candidate.
person.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the best candidates that
course.
we have available. The reason I like Corbyn as well is that everyone's against him. And
Yeah.
I think, do you know what?
Yeah.
Because you lot, I just, anything the government tell me to do.
Then you know they're doing something right.
Yeah, basically. Just do the opposite of what the government want you to do, and you should be all right.
And the thing is, and the one thing about people like Jeremy Corbyn is, you can tell he doesn't do it for the cameras or anything, because he's been wherever he preaches now, he's been doing it since he was young.
Yeah, I think he genuinely wants to reform the system a little
Exactly.
bit.
He will make a difference, innit?
Yeah,
He probably will.
He probably
but-
will. That's why they'll
they
never
can't-
let him in.
They will never let him in.
Yeah, they'll
exactly,
never
yeah.
let him in, unfortunately.
All right, cool. So now a few questions, but again, we're still not getting too deep into it.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of like about you yourself as a rapper and stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, people who listen to your tracks and who are familiar with you, they will know that majority of your tracks are usually very deep and very meaningful. They has some sort of message to it, yeah. And there's a lot to take away from your tracks. Well, like when you listen to it. So my question to you on that is, what's your like writing process? How do you do it? Do you like, I don't know, how long does it take you to
Like
write
you
these
just
songs?
wake up randomly in the morning.
Or
you
do you
think,
have-
today I want to write a deep track, or
Or is it like when you're in a certain mood, you're like, I need to write this because it's in my head?
My writing process, sometimes it could just be if we're just having a vibe in the studio, someone's playing an instrument, I come up with a melody, there might just be like a melody there at first, and we'll put some words to it. It depends how I'm feeling. Might just wake up feeling like in a good mood, want to do some fun stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I feel a lot of people... Here's the thing, when people think about my music, I think they think, yeah, he is emotional.
Yeah. 100%.
But I'm not saying I'm not. I actually am. My music is, but some people say it without even thinking. They just think, they're just like, oh, that's the perception I got.
Yeah.
So some people are just like, I ain't gonna listen to it because of that. When I'm saying, actually, you're right. It is quite emotional, but there's not all of it is, and I think there's a lot of elements of me that just having fun and I try to show it in my music, and then I write these albums and these projects become like conceptual. So yeah.
Okay, I got a question as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So obviously, when you make music, you would love for it to appeal to the wider audience and a variety of demographics, right? And but how do you stay true to yourself? And then basically, how do I word it? Like, how do you stay true to yourself and preach what you believe in, but at the same time also appeal to a larger number of people? So do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously,
something I guess
rapping about what you rap about, it might not get to a lot of people.
It's something that I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure that out because, like, I'm my biggest critic, so I'll listen to bits of my music as a listener, and be like, how do I feel about this certain bit? Like me saying this, but in hindsight, because I've already released it, and I think that might scare off this demographic of people. But then also, you just got to do what you want to do. Yeah. You can't be too critical of myself because I wouldn't put anything out. So.
Have you got like a musical bank where you bank all your tunes and then you haven't released it yet?
Yeah, I've got tons.
How many would you say you got unreleased?
Thousands.
I can imagine.
Thousands. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've always had access to my own setup, so I've got hard drives that are broken. We've lost hundreds of
really?
like collateral damage.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And there's been times where I've been in the studio and I've nailed a take, and then the engineers accidentally deleted it, and everyone's gone all quiet. And I'm like, someone talk to me, tell me what's going on. They're like, yeah, we've accidentally deleted everything. I'm like,
if this podcast gets deleted today, I'm crying. That's what's gonna happen.
I think because of the way I am, a lot of people think, oh, he's gonna lose it, bro. It's gonna go crazy. But I'm cool. I'm like, right, let's just get back to it. We'll start from scratch.
Oh shit.
Obviously, compared to when you were when you started off rapping, things has changed a lot in the last few 10, 15 years or whatever. What's your current mindset and what are your thoughts on the current rap game in UK?
I think, without sounding too like defeated, like music, not just rap, just this music's going in such a odd direction that I'm sort of feeling like out of touch with it a bit, but then also I'm kind of like understanding of why it's going that way, and then I'm sort of battling with myself of, do I actually want to adapt to this, or is this going to be fun for me? Am I just going to be trying to? But then I think this goes back to what you were saying earlier, a minute ago, is like alienating an audience or feeling alienated by an audience, and then there are people that are always going to appreciate my kind of music, and I think there's always space for that, because it's not just like boom bap rap stuff, it's storytelling, and and I think when these phases of music get like wear themselves out, I think this kind of music's always there to pick up the pieces. So, and I think like now it's moving in a sort of weird autonomous direction, like no one's got any real control of it, but I don't know if I really like it, like sonically, like I feel like we're going backwards, like I feel like it's Sega Mega Drive music. Shit.
But I feel like now it's more like TikTok music, isn't it? It's like what goes viral on TikTok, but then you kind of forget it within 6 months though. You will never, you won't listen to, it's not going to like make history.
Nah.
Like, you're not going to listen to it in 2 years down the line.
No,
it's sick now, but not in 2 years.
It's almost as if you only make music now just so you can go viral.
Yeah.
It's like parodies. Everything's a parody, like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
parody of the music. But now, do you know now if you're signed to a label, they're calling all of these people that are signed to labels, and they got their deals 5 years ago, and like the old way of doing things is completely dead. Like now, labels are actually contacting completely unheard of artists, and they're just saying, look, we'll jump on board.
Okay.
We're gonna, and then people are like, okay, this label's got in contact with me. My mate, who hasn't even ever put out a song, has got someone from Sony DMing him.
Oh, shit.
Right, these people are actually reaching out to, they're chasing artists to a level because they know, right, what we actually need is just a viral TikTok. And anyone can get that.
Exactly.
So now they're just pumping, but now they've got all these artists that are signed to them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you for a fact, this weirdo, Naughty Boy, who I like Naughty Boy.
Wait, didn't you collab with him?
Yeah, but he's an idiot. Honestly, he's a nice guy. I like him. He knows I like him.
Wait, who
but
was
you're
dissing him the other day?
Idiot. Yeah, you're an idiot. Because your label has contacted you and they said, Shahid, you got to start doing more Instagram reels and TikTok reels and start filming stuff and he's doing all these videos and it just ain't him, and I just see people doing it. I just feel like, tell him to fuck off, mate. Tell him to do
It's because you
one.
know the real him. So when you see it, it's like, nah.
This Kendrick and Drake situation.
Oh, yeah.
I actually think, Kendrick Lamar might have just saved rap music. Saved music. Not just rap music, but it's a pivotal moment where I think he just said, shut up, because there are people out here that are just sick of the showmanship and that what we actually desire is authenticity
of course.
and sometimes a little bit of complexity in our music. Want something that can withstand the test of time. And I think now Kendrick's whole angle at coming at Drake was a kind of like really like thought about. He might have had it thought like in the bag like years ago. Like from as an artist, I know that was something that was premeditated probably for a very long time. And the way he took him down,
I know.
it was kind of like meticulous. It was very planned. But he sort of done it in the name of like real artistry. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Even down to the last track when he said, "And now we're all gonna dance." And it was just like that. But
Kendrick's a legend.
he's
for
a
that,
legend
man.
for how he done it. And I think now he's got everybody digging through Kendrick's archives and talking about these conceptual songs that Kendrick had written 10 years ago. And they're like, yeah, man, people are just starting to actually. He's highlighted an actual real desire. To move away from this AI bullshit. And it's shown in the numbers as well. I think a lot of these songs that are charting, they're very. You get a lot of like country music that's coming out. A lot of in-depth like storytelling with deep lyrics and good voices. Don't get me wrong, like you're still gonna hear this AI Hey Delilah type shit. I don't know what that song was. My mate told me it was a parody. It was meant to be a joke, and I was like, yeah, they should have kept it as a joke, bro. That's one of them jokes you do and no one laughs.
What's the view on J. Cole? Because he apologized, obviously, on stage after his little beef thing.
Yeah, I think that might have been the right thing to do, you know.
But you know, a lot of people are dissing J. Cole right now for saying like that he's been a bit of a snowflake, and he's that in the rap game you shouldn't apologize for your disses. You should just keep it going. Yeah,
but he knows these people as well. Like, I guess he's made his own decision, his own choice, and he could have done it. But I like the fact that he kind of stepped down and said, "Look, this is kind of between these two. I'm bigger than this." Like,
I feel like he was the bigger man in it. Because a lot of, let's be honest, people in his position would never do that. It's quite big of him to do that too.
Also, I like J. Cole. I like the fact that he's stayed true to the character that he's presented to us through his music. He's never been like that kind of guy.
No.
And I think in his last project, when I heard him talk about Kendrick in that song he did drop, it just didn't seem like him. I was talking about guns and I just thought.
He made me realize he was like, I can't do this. This ain't for me.
He was like, do you know what? Fuck it, man. If I turn up to something and I'm there, like I'm here, I'm not gonna lie, it takes a great amount of mental clarity for me to bring myself to these places. Because
thank God for bringing him in.
And the reason why I think is because I'm super critical of myself, and I feel like, why am I here? What am I promoting? Who am I
is
promoting?
it imposter
Like,
syndrome when you think that you don't belong in this space and
no, I
you
feel
don't
like I
deserve
belong
it?
here.
You feel like you
Yeah,
belong
because I put
But I
art
feel
into
like
the
you
world
keep
and people
talking
like
a bit
it.
low of yourself when you
I
actually.
won't say that. I just feel like I'm good without it. I'm happy where I am.
Oh,
I
like
love
that.
my life,
Okay,
and
okay,
I don't need this validation for any more self-respect.
We
Like,
actually had this discussion yesterday as well, and when we were talking about it, this is what the conclusion we came up with.
Yeah.
We were like, I think for you, it's more like doing music. What it kind of like it's sort of like therapy for you. You're getting out what you want to say. What's in the moment, like when it's suicidal, you were going through those issues.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the whole Palestine issues and everything.
Yeah.
And you want to get it. And to be honest, it's not right now. You've been talking about Palestine forever.
Yeah.
Like the whole BBC Times when it got censored.
Can you tell us about that?
yeah, of course.
When
yeah, of
BBC
course.
censored your,
Yeah.
what was it? The
Fire in the
Charlie
Booth.
Sloth Fire Booth. Yeah, they censored
So,
that.
it must have been 2011 or
It was 13 years
2012.
ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's me, called up Charlie Sloth. He said, "Come do a fire in the booth." I was really excited.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it says like my first breakthrough into
Okay,
the music industry. And just to touch on what I was saying a minute ago, I think during these times, I was all about chasing it. I wanted the notoriety.
But that's you as a young man, though, isn't it?
Yeah, of
Everybody wants
course.
to do
Yeah.
that.
I think there was something. Maybe I was trying to avoid that. I was trying to feel like that thing of wanting to be accepted.
Yeah.
Maybe I've like had some troubles in my past with like, what do they call like rejection? You know,
Yeah.
when you have to deal with that kind of rejection, like a parent leaving or something like that,
okay, yeah.
and then you're trying to compensate. Like, look, mum, look how fucking famous I am
You're
now.
like, always wanting that little bit of validation from something. or someone.
Maybe that's what it was. I can't say. I don't think the why is really is the matter.
Yeah,
It's more
yeah.
like how we're gonna. But yeah, so there's me all excited. I turned up to BBC Radio 1 and prepared this whole amazing fire in the booth. I was just like on point. Then I went there, delivered the whole thing, and really, the only small segment was about Palestine, and it wasn't too highlighting of actually what was going on.
It was literally just
about
that
the whole
small-
a small section, but the whole verse was just about let's celebrate conscious rap that can make it in a mainstream, because like some music that we make for the shelves, but this music we're making for ourselves, but it doesn't matter that it can't relate. Like,
Yeah.
and that was the main purpose. So in the lyric I said like, I can scream free Palestine, I still die for my pride, I still pray for peace. And then when I said free Palestine, obviously they censored it. So it wasn't a decision that was made by Charlie Sloth.
Yeah, I was going
for
to ask
one.
that. Was it him?
It's
was
BBC, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of the
I
day.
can tell you who it was made. The decision was made by.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you right
Exclusive.
now. So, the guy that actually made the
Let's tag
decision,
him.
his name's Mark. Yeah, his made Mark Thompson, I think it is. I'm gonna double check.
Is he a Zionist?
He's a massive Zionist. He's
Yeah,
a
of
Zionist.
course.
He's a lobbyist, and he worked as a main editorial guy for the BBC at the time.
Yeah.
So he made that decision. He heard it and he said, "Nah, delete that."
Okay, no.
And then, right, this is
What's
what
his
I mean.
name? Mark?
I think Mark Thompson or something.
Fuck
he
you,
now
Mark
works.
Thompson.
He now works. He is now the head editorial guy for CNN.
Of course.
Yeah, and
Sinus
all these people at CNN have all come out anonymously, and they sent letters to the press and that, and they're saying this guy won't let us wear a badge around him, won't let us talk. So at the time, BBC said, "Oh, we were just remaining impartial," and everybody believed that. They were like, "Oh yeah, but BBC just got to remain impartial. It's not about them being Israel Zionist lobbyists. It's not. It's just they've got to be impartial." But now there's actual factual evidential proof they were not remaining impartial.
yeah.
A man that made the decision
Yeah.
is a lobbyist
Yeah.
for the Zionist regime.
Jeez.
So, but hey, let's not forget this, right?
Yeah.
Let's thank Mark Thompson right here, right
Okay,
now.
thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark Thompson, because
Fuck you and thank you.
he tried to put my fire out with oxygen. He said, we'll put this fire out with oxygen.
But that kind of
and
went
what does that do?
even
That
more
made the
viral.
That's a
fire
good
even
analogy.
bigger.
Yeah.
The
So
fire grew.
same thing right now. Anytime they try and silence us, all they're doing is amplifying our
Exactly,
voices. So-
exactly.
And it also, like we said with Piers Morgan, when these people act crazy, it just shows us. It's just putting that sometimes all you have to do is put the spark to the flame and just let it burn, and it's going to do all the damage. on its own.
even 2 days ago there was I'm not gonna say the names because I forgot, but it was a Piers Morgan interview on his uncensored one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love watching them.
Yeah,
because
they
I
are
like getting
interesting
angry.
guests, yeah.
I like watching it and getting pissed off. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So,
We love it.
yeah, so I was watching it, and there was obviously one person backing the whole Palestine issue and the opposite and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just what we said. It's like when they were arguing, she was talking more than the guy backing Palestine. Yeah. But then he literally sat there and he's like, I don't need to say anything. Like,
yeah, you're
watching it. You can say she's the evil one. I'm not even gonna talk because everything she was saying was so evil, bro. And I'm thinking, can you not like see what you're saying?
Yeah.
She's literally like, oh, all they bring back is October 7th. It's like, oh, come on, bro. Everyone knows now.
Yeah,
like,
I see that interview. It was with the UN Secretary of State for America or Israel.
Okay.
Basically, she was saying there was no decapitated baby.
Yeah,
she was like,
yeah,
right, as if. And
Exactly.
then Piers Morgan was like, no, I've got to step in here
Yeah.
because I
He has
actually have
to.
seen it.
Yeah.
His head, the kid's head.
Because he did tweet it. He said, especially with the attack on Rafah recently,
Yeah.
he actually tweeted something saying like,
Netanyahu
how,
stop.
he was like, bro, you need to quit this bombing and whatnot,
Yeah.
Fucking
It was I'm trying to find
It was a
the-
sick interview though.
Yeah.
It was mad.
That one I did like.
But this is why, like you said earlier, what side is he playing, Piers Morgan? Because by doing these shows, right?
Yeah.
He's actually raising more support for Palestine.
I feel like his shows like have woken people up more than he realizes. Like I don't know if that was the intention, but a lot of people have realized who's right, who's wrong after watching his stuff.
But the thing is, we should thank Piers Morgan in a way because let's be honest, he's showing like blatantly who the
I mean,
idiots
I'm not gonna
are.
thank him, but
No, but like I'm
do your
saying
thing. But I ain't thanking him.
not thanking him in that sense, but like we should say, you know what, bro? Thanks for showing the fucked up people and the fucking good people.
Yeah.
You know, so
Fair play.
I think he like. I don't want to talk too much about Piers
Nah,
Morgan,
fuck him.
but he always just tries to
Yeah.
allocate himself in a good position.
Yeah.
So when it all happens, he can say, "But I was on the
Yeah,
Palestinian
yeah,
side, and I
yeah.
did do this." And
Yeah.
it's just like, let's really and truly,
yeah.
you're
Yeah, exactly,
like, you're
exactly.
also-
So obviously, because we knew you were coming, we done a little bit of research here and there. Even though we didn't need to do much, we just wanted to make sure we ask, like, the correct things to you. So while I was checking some of the YouTube videos, there was like, sorry.
anything bad. What did you?
Nah,
find?
No, it's
no.
actually good stuff.
No,
Oh,
so
sweet.
while I was watching the YouTube videos, because obviously nowadays everyone loves reading comments. That's like one of the main things we do on Instagram everywhere.
You watch the video in the background and you read
and
the
then they
comments.
read the comments, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was reading the comments on most of these videos, and there was this two things I kept seeing again and again and again. Yeah,
Reoccurring theme, basically.
Yeah.
On my comments.
yeah.
On your
On
videos, under your
a
Fire in the
majority
Booth.
interviews, Fire in the Booth, old videos, new videos. There's
I
this.
haven't clocked this. What is this?
We have
cool,
like
so-
10 videos of you, tabs open, just like looking into you, researching a little bit, and then we just gather comments together, basically.
So I've got a few comments.
Yeah.
I'll read them out to you. Yeah.
Go on.
All right. So honestly, it's crazy that Mike doesn't get the respect he deserves.
Oh, yeah.
Only rapper that actually spits facts. He's truly one of us. The world is corrupt and everyone is brainwashed. He's an honest man. That's the first comment. Let me read the rest as well.
Yeah, go on.
Next one is, been listening to Mike for 15 years, raising the bar every year. I don't think he gets the recognition he deserves. Without a doubt, the top 3 rappers to come out of UK. Yeah.
The last one as well, bro.
And another one, I wish this guy knew how much he means to me. And there's another one as well. Realist in the game. I'm from Birmingham. UK can say, wait.
You can, UK can say with, I can say.
Okay, I
Yeah,
can say
some of
with
these
my,
YouTube comments.
I can say with my hand on my heart that this man saved my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the this is just 4 comments, but like we were saying, the main 2 things I keep saying is the fact that Mike Righteous is not where he's meant to be.
Yeah.
And 2,
Underrated.
his music saved my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you feel about these comments? Like, I'm sure you've seen them again and again as well.
Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe I'm just the Messiah. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I this is going back to what I was saying. Like, I battle with this thing of like, I do this. Like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, this song is gonna save the world.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get world famous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have to remember, like, am I leaning too much into the I'm gonna get world famous, or am I gonna help the world? Like,
Yeah.
You know
It's
what
like
I mean?
a battle.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're thinking that tells us who you are as a person. Because a lot of people don't look at both sides, you know. They would just be like,
But
this is gonna get me famous. you know?
Yeah. And then but the thing is, I can't identify.
Oh, okay.
But
Because
you know
I'm
what it
just
is?
truly true, like, about my spirit, and I'm like, but my spirit actually wants that, like, pat on the back, like,
Yeah,
well done, Mike,
yeah.
you did that.
Yeah.
I'm like, but why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's part of my ego that wants that.
Yeah.
I think anyone wants that, to be fair.
There's also like there's something very profound about creating art and not caring. And being like, there are these Tibetan monks, that live in the top of mountains, and they create this beautiful art, and they make it out of grains of sand, individually picking up grains of sand, and they use millions of grains of sand. And at the end, once they've made it, they just blow it away. They just mesh it up, and that's it. And it's just like the art of like letting go of just something that.
Would you say they enjoy the process?
Maybe, I'm not
journey.
sure. I think it's like that.
Journey,
every time I make a song, I'm thinking people are going to love this and they're going to love me because I made it. And I'm thinking, what if I could just be like, and I'm never going to listen to that ever again.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean? There's that, but then also I do understand that my music's a very powerful weapon, you know? And just as many comments are there that people have said, oh, you've saved my life, you saved my life. There are the other side of it is like someone might have listened to my music at the wrong time and I might have been the reason why they actually attempted to take their life as well.
Oh, you think that?
I don't think that, no, but it's just like,
you're
with
saying
great power comes great
like
responsibility, you know what I mean? I put out that Suicycle album when there was during the lockdown, and I was very apprehensive about doing it because I thought, am I gonna fucking mess up people's like mental health? Is this a lot to listen to? Because it is a whole album that transcends like the pain that I was in, which was real genuine pain.
No, of course.
And you can hear it in the music. And I believe in transferal of energy. I believe that like if you're in a vulnerable place, music has the power to bring you out of it or sink you deeper into it.
For sure,
And I was just very apprehensive, thinking, is this gonna help? Is it gonna not? But more times than not, I don't think I've ever heard one person say like, man, that song fucked me up, bro. Days, you know what I mean? For days, bro, that song fucked me up. It's always like, I was in a fucked up place, but that song helped me. Or some people are like, I don't know if I'm ready to listen to Mike Wright just yet. Maybe in a week or so. You know what I mean? But I mean, I guess it's just also about having faith and just letting something else have the will for a bit.
I listened to Bullet with my wife the other day in the car, and she was like, Vitu, what are you listening to? She was like, did he say put a bullet in Rishi Sunak? I was like, yes. She goes, but is he allowed to say that? I'm like, clearly.
I didn't say I was gonna. I
said if you listen. I said if you listen to it, he does say good riddance afterwards if somebody else does it or something like that.
Yeah, that's like, you know, intrusive thoughts out loud. It's one of them things. I think my music, I'm always damned to sort of be in the position I'm in, because a lot of people on them comments, you will see the reoccurring theme of like Mike deserves more.
Sometimes, we saw that a lot.
But I had this lyric, and it's like, even at my shows, people come up to me and they say, they tell me I deserve more. And I swore, you're right. If only you knew what I'd do to get by, you'd be mortified. Because like sometimes like I struggle and I have to do mad. Like I'm always trying to pull in money from this place and trying to get by and stuff. But I know that maybe if I was given everything that all these other artists have, maybe I wouldn't be the person I am today. Maybe I wouldn't be able to produce the music that I do make. So maybe it's the gift and the curse of 100%. Sort of being the kind of artist I am. And hey, I just feel like at one point they're gonna really get my genius plan, and they're gonna see, like, damn, maybe I won't be here, like I said earlier, but maybe I'll be somewhere in Cuba with Tupac.
That's the dream.
Speaking of Tupac, who's your top all-time favorite artist?
Top three.
I gotta do like new era and old era.
Okay, let's do old era first, and then new era, and then.
Okay, so we talk about the old school era. We're gonna go Eminem straight away.
Okay.
Nas and Pac.
Pac.
The new era, I'm gonna go Kendrick. This is in no specific order. Kendrick Lamar. I like Triple X Tentacion. I don't know if you know much about him as an artist. But
rest in peace.
Yeah, I really, really, really like his music. And
J. Cole up there?
Is J. Cole up there? I think it would either be J. Cole or
On the way
or
home, he's gonna be like,
Kendrick.
I said this person.
Yeah, did I say Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah.
Shit, man, that's what I mean. New music's bad, isn't it? I can't even.
Wait,
I'd say Drake. I'd just say Drake.
Would you?
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad artist. Like,
He
I think
knows how
if
to-
you look at
yeah.
his catalog, like, I don't know how much of it he's responsible for writing, but you can't deny he is he's an amazing songwriter, and he's got music for every occasion. He's I don't know how he does it, but
Fair enough.
I'd put him in there. But I'm not, to be honest. That's why I wanted to break it down into like old school, new school, because the new school I don't really care about. To be honest. I just make it because if we're gonna make one, you know what I mean.
What would you say the UK top 3 are?
Current UK top 3. I think you'd have to put Gets up there. Low Key in there.
Low Key, definitely.
And Retro Dave, one of them. Maybe
Dave.
Oh, Dave,
I'd say
Dave,
yeah, Dave definitely.
Dave's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Did you used to get mistaken with Devlin back in the days?
I have been mistaken. For
Yeah.
Devlin a
No
couple
way.
of times.
Yeah. Because I remember I listened to.
But they don't look the same at all.
They don't look the same, but I think they were both clean shaven and quite tall.
Oh, you meant on in person?
Yeah,
no, not in person.
Music wise, yeah. Because he's quite good as well, you know.
Yeah.
Devin's quite sick as well, yeah. No,
Oh,
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic now, you know.
Yeah.
Tell us about English Frank.
English Frank, yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very good
You know,
guy.
I don't want
man.
this to be a gossip show.
Do you know, you're the start of so many beefs, man. You're gonna cause a lot of shit.
I can't fucking walk the streets of London anymore.
All right, so obviously based on your recent Instagram post and your tracks, and it's not just recent, like we mentioned earlier, you've been speaking about Palestine since forever, yeah?
Yeah.
So my main question, I was actually very, very curious about this, is you're not Palestinian.
No, I'm not, no.
But what makes you so passionate about this specific topic or issue?
Because unwillingly and unconsciously, I've been put on this path. And I think every time you think about like your connection with life itself and my spirit, I think, where is life trying to push me? And I spoke already about my own battle with my own ego and my own. So sometimes I try and just like read the room a bit, and I mean the room like my environment, the world I'm in, my external and internal world, and I just feel like I'm always being pointed in that path. Like my path is always saying like go that way.
Yeah.
So it feels like when I don't, I'm ignoring like my duty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. It's just more of a connection thing to the higher power. I feel like I don't know if I'm just passionate about it because it's Palestinian people. I think through my work in this injustice, I'm sort of working for all injustice.
Yeah.
And right now it's a very prominent reason to fight.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't goes to say like it's no more of a worthy cause than what's going on in Congo, Sudan or Yemen or all these other places that I think liberation for one people is liberation for all people. That's 100%. The main message here.
Do you think artists have a social responsibility to talk about these issues? Because some might say, like, if I'm going to talk about Palestine, I need to talk about everything else. Then I will never be able to release my music or do fun stuff and shit. So do you think they need to talk about it, or is it up to them? Like, can they use their platform to do what they want?
I think if you look at the history of art throughout the history of humankind, art has been used by artists as their own form of expression for whatever it is that's close to them. And majority of the time, it's used as a social tool.
100%.
And I think if you remove a person's ability to do that and say you can't speak about what you want to speak about, you're deliberately like a threat to like all art, in my opinion. And I don't know if you've got an obligation to speak about these specific topics, but you have an obligation to speak about your real shit. To be real to you and vibrate on an authentic level so you can get through to the people that vibrate on that same level that don't have the voice. Art is just about one individual becoming a voice for people that don't have that ability.
Does it bother you that your artist friends when they don't share or when they don't talk about like Palestine or current issues?
No, because they're not my friends. I don't think. I've dropped them out. to
As
be
in,
honest.
is it because if they don't talk about it, then I don't really want to be friends with these kind of people? Is that how it works?
I just don't have them. My friends aren't the people that don't talk about it.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, my friends are the
That's a
friends
sick
are the
answer.
people
He
that
knows
talk
his
about
circle.
it.
Yeah.
I ain't got a lot of friends. That's
yeah,
why.
yeah. No, it makes
But-
sense. It
but-
makes 100% sense.
Our struggle is very, very similar to the Palestine struggle, obviously.
So
and-
can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
I know
of
about the
course.
Tamil
course.
Tigers. They're
Tamil
a group,
Tigers. Yeah.
right? Can you guys like inform
Okay.
me? Like,
yeah. So what happened over the years? They've been like cleansing. When I say cleansing, killing Tamil populations over the years, many years. So since the British left, right, what these fuckers do, the Western fuckers, what they do, they colonized Sri Lanka, India. They gave us our freedom, but when they left, they obviously left it in
They divided us.
They divided. What
that
they
reminds
divi-
me of somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They divided us, and then what they do is I think they left everything and what do you call it, responsibilities with the
majority at the time.
which is the
At the
Sinhalese
t- at the
population at that
time,
time. And what happens from there is from that day, Tamils have been targeted, killed, butchered, like thousands of people.
Also,
Thousand
quickly
numbers.
to the Tamil audience watching this,
Yeah.
if there is anything wrong with saying, please correct us, because
Yeah.
like we said, we're not journalists.
We're not journalists. We just speak from what we know.
what we know and
experience,
stuff. Yeah. So we may be wrong here and there,
Yeah.
but we do know to an extent.
So they keep referring to a civil war, but I wouldn't say
It's not civil,
war if
it's a
you're
genocide.
aiming it towards one particular group of people, right? So over the years, all these massacres are happening. But then what happened in 2009 was the biggest ethnic cleansing. They started massacring people, killing people.
And bear in mind, the 2009, what happened in 2009 is very, 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 very similar to what's happening in Palestine right
In
now.
Rafah, yeah.
And it's literally a copy and paste.
Yeah.
So like the way, you know how right now the whole Rafah go to the safe zone and
Yeah.
then they bomb the safe zone.
Yeah.
They did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So in 2009, they told the Tamil population, look, go to the safe zone. We're trying to target the terrorists.
They
But
called-
again,
yeah.
like Hamas, there was Tamil Tigers, but Tamil Tigers are freedom fighters.
Fighters.
They're not terrorists.
Yeah.
They had to take up arms to fight for our freedom.
Yeah.
And so the Sri Lankan government used the excuse of we're targeting the terrorists, but carried on killing the Tamil population.
It's like saying Hamas is hiding within
A hospital, a refugee
hospitals
camp.
where the civilians are,
Yeah.
and then you'll end up bombing the whole place. That's what they were doing all
so
the
then
years.
in 2009, a specific week, especially around May,
Yeah, 18th of May.
18th of May is the Remembrance Day. And what happened was around that 2 weeks was more than 150,000 Tamil people got killed within 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And like, of course, what's going on?
And this was all in a no-fire zone, a dedicated
A
no-fire zone.
Yeah.
So similar to Rafah.
So they told them, go to this place it was called Mullivaikal.
Yeah.
They said, go to that area. You're not going to get bombed there. You're safe there. Next thing you know, within few days, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
They raping them. They're killing them. All sorts of shit.
I've personally lost, I would say, about probably 50 members of my family. So I remember I was in year 10 or year 11 back
Yeah.
then. So I remember coming home from school, mom will cry because uncle passed away. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. They finished crying, and then 2 days later, someone else passed away.
Yeah.
So for a good 2-3 weeks, someone was dying every day. Almost, I feel bad saying this, but it got to a point where
You're so numb.
I was numb to it.
Yeah.
I don't think we had any tears left in us anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's strange, man. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be a.
And you wouldn't believe it. Actually, you would believe it.
Yeah.
One of the main country that was behind this was Israel.
Israel.
Israel provided majority of the arms, the
And
weapons, and the training that was used to kill the Tamil people.
Yeah.
Some people say in 2009 the war ended, the genocide ended, but till now it hasn't ended because genocide isn't just about killing people.
Yeah.
It's about land grabbing. It's
Yeah.
about changing.
They
their
burned down a
monuments.
library many years ago. So that library was the oldest library in Asia, I believe. In Asia, oldest library. So what these Sinhalese mobs did, they burned down the library. And that library had evidence and proof of a lot of things that you can't even retrieve that information anymore because no digital copies, right? So they went and burnt down the library. And so a lot of historic pieces, a lot of stories, a lot of actual facts that was not even written in books, but written on actual like tree barks and whatever.
Yeah.
That's all been destroyed.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because they're afraid of the truth,
Yeah.
which is what was
And
within the library.
if you go on Google, like literally, I'm not even making up. If you go on Google and
Yeah.
type
The most disappearances in the
most
country.
disappearance in the world,
I'll show you right
Sri
now.
Lanka. there's more than 100k disappearance since the war started or something, and we don't know where they are. Like he said, how a lot of family members died.
There you go. Sri Lanka has one of the world's highest number of disappearances, with between 60 to 100,000 people vanishing since the late 1980s.
And the numbers are a lot more. That's just
a lot
Google.
Yeah,
more.
of course,
But
yeah.
if Google says it,
Where are all these missing people?
We
Like,
don't
what's the
know.
conspiracy? There's got to be some.
A lot
We
of
know
people
they
say
killed-
they've been killed. He actually came
they
out
have mass graves where they buried people.
a few years ago. He came out that one of the, I think one of their people admitted,
Yeah.
because I think he came to senses at some point,
Yeah.
and he said that
couldn't live with himself
I
anymore.
think he admitted that they fed Tamil people to crocodiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's truly
That's-
disgusting. It's
yeah.
like one of the most mind.
That's
Yeah.
mindfuck. This is the reason we're so passionate about it. That's why I
Palestine,
was
yeah.
like, how comes you're passionate?
Yeah.
But obviously, not everyone needs a deeper reason and
Reason to it,
stuff.
yeah.
But I think for us, it's more like we've seen it happen,
Yeah.
and we don't want to see it happen to anyone else
Anyone
again
else,
anymore,
yeah.
kind of thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Man, it's.
Sorry,
I think
we didn't
that's-
mean to.
No. The for me, it's like when Israelis talk about like, oh, never again, we'll never
Yeah.
experience another. This is what truly like shocks me to the core, is
Yeah.
because the people that they speak about representing,
Yeah.
it's like they're in disguise. It's like they disguise themselves as the oppressed.
Yeah.
They disguise themselves as the victims constantly.
Yeah.
Maybe during this period of time,
Yeah.
like people didn't have access to the media like we
Exactly.
do now.
So that's one struggle we had.
Yeah.
So Instagram wasn't a big thing, social media wasn't
No.
a thing, and it was available. But the thing is, people didn't know.
You don't
how to
spread
use
information.
It.
You
We didn't know how
can't.
to
It doesn't
spread
go viral.
information.
Even with Palestine, there's never been
No, of
such a
course.
rebellion for
Exactly.
the Palestinian cause, but now there is, and
Yeah.
that's
Someone
because-
shared all the different places that were bombed and people were killed over the last 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
And it was only like 10 years ago, you see Gaza on there.
Yeah.
Everything else before that, it's all these different locations
Yeah.
within Palestine. I'm like, fucking hell, I didn't know this. Even though I was on
Yeah.
social media, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So that's one good thing that social media can do, you know?
Well, we're in that. We're experiencing it now, so it's like people can't anticipate these things happening, but now they're starting to see. Oh, hang on a minute. People are getting their information not from BBC, not from CNN,
No.
not from
Exactly.
these- they're getting it from their phone. Now we're gonna have to. We're gonna have
Censor
to
them.
censor that,
Yeah.
interfere with that. So it's just another way of putting the, But again, it's like trying to put the fire out of oxygen.
Yeah.
They're not really doing that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
more
yeah.
they try, actually highlights a whole another issue here.
Yeah.
Oh, Meta and Facebook and these guys are fully involved.
Zionist organizations.
Yeah, they're definitely. Oh man, I don't want to have to be that guy, but it all comes back to political power, money, greed, and when you talk about the top of the food chain
Yeah.
in politics, we're talking about the state of Israel. We're
Mm.
talking
Yeah, yeah, of
about
course.
the
It's always-
billionaires, the trillionaires that
Yeah.
fund them.
Yeah.
We're talking about the banking families behind these conglomerates, these
Yeah.
governments that
Yeah.
are merely just shadows for the real people in power.
Yeah.
And we make jokes, me and my friend, all the time, because
Yeah.
we're like, remember our crazy conspiracy friend that told us the Illuminati was real
Yeah.
20 years ago, and we laughed at him. Now he's in
Yeah.
a mental hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we locked up all the savants, man. We locked
he
up
was
all the
right.
geniuses.
man.
all the people that are
No,
ruling
but
us
there's
all
a
in the
lot of
mental
things
hospital.
that's coming to light now. People
Of
we
course,
thought that
yeah.
were crazy.
Yeah, but you know how annoying it is, yeah? When you
Yeah.
try to preach something for years and
yeah.
everyone takes you for a dickhead,
I
yeah?
know.
10 years later, I'm like, bruv, I fucking told you this 10 years ago. It's
Yeah.
so annoying, bro.
That's the power of the message. Like, I think it's the same reason like they crucified Jesus, because he was like, look, I'm the son of God. You got to trust me. And they're like, get him on the cross.
You know, as of lately, I've been posting a lot about Palestine. So I don't post about it. I don't put my input into it, but I do share vital information when they spit facts about how many people are killed and something. So I'm shamelessly, like, I just post everything I find related to Palestine, and I get comments in my DM saying, "Oh, you're Tamil. You have your own struggles. Why don't you speak about that?" So I tell them.
The thing is, you do. When
I
we
say
try, you don't.
I say I do that. I don't know if you've been following me for a long time, but besides that, I am not picking and choosing or cherry picking what struggle I'm gonna favor. It's like when the whole Black Lives Matter movement came about, and then some people start saying fucking White Lives Matter. Yes, of course.
The whole all
all
lives
lives
matter
matter.
shit.
Sorry, not white. All lives matter. Of course, all lives do matter. But right now, Black Lives matter the most
Yeah.
because they are the ones facing these
Yeah.
atrocities, right?
that this is what I believe. I don't think there's a real need to speak on every injustice. Like,
of course, no.
I think have the things that are dear to you and speak about them when they arise.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when we look at the surface, on a surface level, we're just fundamentally speaking about oppressed versus the oppressors. And if we're speaking for the oppressed, we're speaking for all the oppressed. And when we say no one's free, no one's free till Palestine's free. No one's free till the Tamil people are free. No one's like, it all comes under the same umbrella.
Of course.
What we're really pushing is the idea that who cares who the place belongs to? We're just existing on Earth, and we have to exist together to create a powerful union between man. So we can actually not just look after our own existence, but the existence of all things,
everybody around us,
and take care of our environment. Life's a cosmic battle, and when you think about the actual birth of all things, it came with the death of something. Stars have to die in order to reborn new planets. Planets collide in order to create new cosmos. You have to go through a series of letting go in order to gain so much new stuff. I think when you look at the world in that context, like, you're either anything you put in or put out of yourself, you're either doing harm or doing good. And I think more than anything, I'm just trying to be someone who does more good than bad.
Of course,
and it's not hard to see from a human perspective who's in the right here.
Yeah, you're right.
And when you look at the people trying to defend Israel's actions, it's just like, I can see you're wrong. Like,
exactly.
Like,
and you know what's really fucked? Israel themselves know that they're in the wrong. It's not even the fact that
not all, bro. Some are actually so brainwashed they don't see it, bro.
I feel people. I know, but
some actually don't see it, bro.
You think so,
bro? It's exactly like again, bringing back to the whole Tamil stuff and Sri Lanka and stuff. Sometimes I think the same. It's like, do you really not see that you just killed 150,000 and you're still finding an excuse saying, "Oh, suicide! You guys were terrorists, this and that." But there's some people actually so brainwashed they can't see past it, bro.
No, they can't.
It's like if someone believes something so deeply,
bro, perception is a crazy thing. I've seen things that weren't there, and I'm convinced I've seen them. And someone could tell me, bro, that wasn't there. And I'm like, but I saw it. You can't tell me. So imagine now, like, the power of suggestion. Like, you know, I could just slip a few words in the day and it'll have you thinking about that thing. Like, all of the ways they manipulate the human mind. And they bash you with this bombardment of media. And a lot of people still get their news from the TV, man.
That's crazy.
And their parents pass down the information. And then poor bastards are the most misinformed. Like the British grandfather, the standard, fucking my country, you know what I mean? It's just like, I just like to go back to the days of, like, what can we all contribute? What can we all do to try and help each other?
What's your view on, like, Al Jazeera and stuff? Obviously, they don't have their main station there anymore. Now they're more online, are they? Because I think they were the only non-biased.
I think they're the only ones I kind of follow.
Genuine news station that actually.
Well, I feel like they're one of the only ones that's actually deeply pro-Palestinian. Because they're Al Jazeera. They're a Middle Eastern news channel. So if you want anything that's kind of pro-Palestinian, because all the other news outlets are controlled
pro-Israel
by Rupert Murdoch and his cronies, you know what I mean?
He owns all the media outlets pretty much.
Pretty much
Sun,
all of them, all
Daily
the news
Mail,
ones
all
he
of
does.
it.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, like, there is a wealthy white Zionist behind everything. Your favourite actor, he's one of them. Your favourite rap artist, he's one of them. All of them.
Everyone.
When you get in, you just, I hate to say it because I sound like that guy, but the Illuminati is real, and they're just called the Zionists.
I feel like there's something.
Everything.
I feel like there's something beyond the Illuminati, something even more elite.
They are, but this is where the story. This is where the story of the Illuminati comes from. It's just like this group of people that own like 99.9% of the world's wealth, which is this
Zionist.
Rothschild family, these Zionist lobbyists, these Zionist groups that literally have had this agenda from the 1800s.
But it's crazy that the Zionists are sort of breaking now.
You know,
because I feel like more people are waking up and stuff. Bro, you wouldn't believe.
But you know they'll kill everyone. They will kill absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
They could if they wanted to.
No,
Is
not
that what
if
you're
they
trying to say?
wanted to. They will kill everyone.
Eventually.
100%.
Not in the next 50 years.
No,
please.
they
Maybe,
don't.
maybe.
My point is, they genuinely.
I just had a baby, bro.
They genuinely won't mind killing everyone. If the
of
whole
course they
world
won't.
stood up against them
Yeah.
and said, "Well, we're all going to fight back against Zionism," well, then it's the whole world versus Zionism.
Yeah.
Probably a bunch of incest fuckers.
They're not gonna stop.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important that we rebel, we revolt,
Exactly.
and we continue this
Protests,
fight. We create
boycotts.
because it's literally you just have to chase the rat out the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna leave on their own accord.
Quick question, just in general, let it be Palestine or Tamalulam or whatever, or any other country. When we actively go out on the streets and protest, when we're like thousands and thousands protesting on the streets, some people find it an inconvenience. What do you have to say to those people? Because I remember when we were protesting for Tamalulam, we were out there in the rain, we're getting beaten up by the police for
Maybe
just peacefully
maybe it
protesting.
should be an inconvenience.
And we cause an inconvenience,
Yeah.
obviously, but then...
Do you know
they
what I
can't get
say?
to-
I say it's an inconvenience for me seeing dead kids all over the internet.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like one of them things. I'm sorry you're inconvenienced by
Yeah.
this protest. It's stopping you from getting from A to B on time. But maybe that's what it's going to take. Maybe
Yeah.
you care more about getting to work on
Exactly,
time
yeah.
than
Exactly.
these dead kids.
Yeah,
So if we
yeah.
can interrupt you getting to work on
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
maybe you're going to actually be like, you know what?
Because that
Maybe
used to-
we should stop the
that used to
oil
piss me
because
off
it's
so
making me
much.
late for work.
Yeah. Going on social media, posting these things, reading these things, watching these things, of course it's gonna have an impact on your mental health and stuff. But I'm pretty sure you're someone who thinks like my mental health doesn't matter when there's people dying and stuff, But my main question is, I've got a few, but first one, how is your mental health at the moment with everything going on?
How are you, bro?
Yeah, thank you, boys.
We haven't
Appreciate
asked him that since we got
Yeah.
here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Boy, I mean, it's a pickle, man.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a complicated spider web of feelings, and I think one of the most important parts of my human recovery, and that's a case of like, some people believe in past life trauma and real like trauma that you stems from the womb, things that you're not even conscious that you're going through, and bits of guilt and shame that we store all in us like throughout our whole lives. And it's one thing that's, I mean, just to answer the question quickly, I'm sweet, boys. I'm proper sweet. I'm proper sweet, man. I feel so blessed to be in the position I'm in. And there are moments for sure where I'm like, oh, this is fucking intense, bro. Like, this is a
highs
mad,
and lows, innit?
yeah, this is mad intense. But at the same time, like, what? Like, what? Just to be, to touch and feel and have this sensory experience. Like, it must be greater than what's going on after. Otherwise, why is it all even here in the first place? I deep things a lot. I really do.
Would you say you're very spiritual then? Or more religious?
I think I contemplate my own self so much that in a sense I guess I am.
Okay.
I can't say I'm religious, but I contemplate the connection between me and something that can't be seen or touched. That exists in another
It's a higher power up
dimension.
there somewhere.
Yeah, like we just live in the physical realm.
Basically,
And I do believe in a spiritual realm. And I think that can be tapped into when you just acknowledge your state of awareness. And that's one thing I think has helped me massively, is just like whenever I have them overwhelming feelings of like, freaking hell, I'm just on this massive rock floating in infinite space where everyone's killing each other all the time. I think, but also like just observe, you know what I mean? And just try and relax, man. Just try and just realize you are not any of this and any of this. You, at the same time, you are all of it.
It's
exactly.
quite
Just
nice
let
that you can actually go to one extreme and then sort of calm yourself down or like get to the other side, you know?
There's
Because a lot of
definitely
people can't do that
yeah.
stuff. They can't really balance, you know, like...
I'm a strong advocate for meditation, breathing exercises, and exercise in general. I think that is a
I'm lacking that here.
I think you can do what you want. You can have these little things that make you happy. Have a little drink, have a little cake, have a little cookie. Don't do too many hard drugs. Do the good drugs. You know what I mean? Because there are good ones.
We don't do drugs here, by the way.
Do we not? No one can get me a 10 bag after this.
That's what he's there for.
But yeah, no. Look, before any of my main thing in life is being an advocate for mental health and mental health issues, because like I said, like when we say the word mental health, what do we mean? Like there are people with so many different types of mental struggle because their brains function completely differently. It's like the fingerprints on our thumbs. No one's the same. All our neurons and protons are all fired differently. And it's one of them things like you're your greatest ally, but sometimes your biggest enemy. So
can I say something quickly, like on camera right now? You know, when people used to come to me with mental health issues and stuff, I used to think to myself, for you to have some sort of mental health issue, you must be really privileged. That's how I used to think of it. I was like, if you have depression, then that means you live a privileged life, because people out there who can't even afford to eat food and can't even put a roof over their kids, put clothes on their back, and can't even look after their family, struggling on the streets begging, like poorer countries, for example. I was like, look at them, for example. What do you mean you're depressed? But then when things hit you, when you get a bit older and you fucking start looking into things, and I'm like, fucking no, you know what? Depression actually is a thing, you know?
I'll say this. We're sick by design.
Okay.
And depression and antidepressants are one of the most commonly sold drugs to people.
Antidepressants,
Like, if they stopped producing that drug, like the antidepressants, and the industry, the pharmaceutical industry, would lose billions. Billions and billions and billions. And when you look at who consumes these drugs the most, it's the Western civilization.
Of course,
it's us. We're sick by design. The food we eat, the news we read, the books we take, the knowledge we have, the information we tell ourselves about ourselves is all built up of the information we're taught.
Sure.
We're taught this shit. No one came out knowing this shit. We're all taught it. You have to undo everything you know in order to rebuild new knowledge and understand that there's better medicines, there's better ways of healing, and you can, I shouldn't say completely 100% cure yourself of any, because the brain's actual function is to figure problems out. And that's mental health, like the clarity to actually tackle like these issues. Some people's brains just make problems. But I think we're very much sick by design, and that's just the way it is. And I think the quicker we can sort of get ourselves out of that system, where we're actually exercising more, I think that is one of the main things. I think a lot of people say you have to get on a very strict diet and just eat completely natural. I think cut out as much processed food as possible.
That's almost impossible though in this day and age.
As much as possible.
As much as possible. That's why I wouldn't say just cut it out. I'd say as much as possible, which is a little bit easier.
First of all, don't eat McDonald's or go to Starbucks. That's a start.
I think it's very easy to stop doing that. I don't know about other people, because some people are just like, oh, it's quick and easy, but there's so many other, like, do you know how quick it is to make a burger, bro? It's so quick, bro. Just
and plus, it's more of a reward, isn't it? When you finish making the burger, you eat it yourself.
I was telling someone recently how, like, when you're young, you exercise to look good. But now at this age, I feel like I actually go gym to feel good. Genuinely, because I actually always feel like if I don't go gym sometimes, or if I don't do some sort of exercise, it's not like I'm fucking some gym freak or something.
No.
But I need to do a bit of workout, and I've realized the impact it has on my mental health. And like you said, the whole meditation thing as well. Like over the last 10 years, I've always tried to do it, and I've come out. And then in the last like 20 days, like the whole table thing I showed you with the chart, I've been trying every day for 10 minutes here and there, but it's those little things more than just going to the GP and getting some antidepressants for fucking yourself up even more.
I would say, if you're someone watching this and you think, what can I do to start?
I was actually going to ask that, so you might as well do it.
Do 120 press-ups for 120 days. So I know that sounds like
120
a
lot.
120 a day.
The next 120
when you wake up, do 60.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. You do 10. If you can only do 5, then do, honestly, do like however many reps of 5 till you get to 60, and then in the night do the same.
Yeah.
Because that will be so good for your body. It will literally tell your body that we're alive. And we're working. But the reason you do it over 120 days is because it takes 120 days for the human body to replenish every single cell.
Oh, okay.
So when you have a brand new body in 120 days, it's built from the new work you've done.
Yeah.
So you start a new diet, you start a new exercise regime, you aren't going to see anything for 120 days. And then in 120 days, you have your new thing to thank. You're this is it now. This is what I've worked for. Yeah. Now let's incorporate, maybe let's do 120 push-ups and 20 pull-ups. Or just, no one has to be David Goggins.
Exactly,
Like, you just have to get up and move. That's it. Get up and move. Go for a walk, go for a hike. I don't want to seem like I'm giving like shallow answers. I've already said exercise, like devote yourself, realize your power, realize your true essence. And I think sometimes that seems like a million miles away. But if it's a million miles away, then you got a million miles to walk. You know what I mean? And I think embrace that. It's easy just to say, I can't do that. Fuck that. That's a million miles. I'm gonna hang myself. It's way easier to do that than it is to say, it might seem like impossible, but I'm going to go for it. And every day you're going to get closer and closer to your goal. Just fucking go in there and say, whatever it is that's happening, it's happening for me. Not to me, for me.
For you.
So I am going to embrace this and find out what it is at the end of that million-mile walk that I have to get to that is so important. Because let me put it this way, we spoke about, do you believe in God? Maybe if you don't believe in God, it could be quite cynical. But do you believe in life? Of course, because you're alive. Do you believe in life being necessary? Yeah, because you're alive. You can't say it's not necessary, otherwise you won't be here. It's 100% necessary because you're actually a real thing I'm looking at. In that case, are you not granted with like profound purpose? Because you're just here anyway.
Exactly,
I don't blame people for taking their lives. I know people that are taking their lives, and I think it takes a tremendous amount of actual real fucking guts. Like when people do it, people jump off buildings and splatter on the floor, and you're like, fucking hell, that's crazy.
But that's how fucked it must have been in there for them to
get
to that stage.
You think if you've got that level of fucking grit in you anyway, like I said, we're very much sick by design. But anything that's created the problem, the issues, definitely there's answers in there too.
For sure.
No one, it's not too late for no one. I've seen the maddest people pull themselves back from like the desperate situations they've been in, and and it's a shame as well because I know, like I said, I know people that have taken their own lives. And I know them personally, and I think if you'd have just waited that minute longer or that day longer, like that one day was the difference.
Of course.
Because that moment passes, and you think right now, you're in the thick of it, and you're in the storm. And I hear this really good analogy. It was probably taken from another podcast somewhere, so apologies if you've already heard this, but it's a good analogy. It's like whenever you're in the storm, and you try and outrun the storm just catches up with you. But when you turn and face the storm, you allow it to pass. And that's just I just think the best, sometimes you just got to turn and just go into it.
Face it.
We're spending so much time running, it only catches up with us, but when we just turn and go into it, we come out the other side, and that moment passes, and then it's just life, and life's like challenges we're bound to face.
Fuck yeah. I went deep for a moment there.
I mean, to be honest with you, there's shitloads of other shit I wanted to talk about. Because we've only got a little bit left. I wanted you to also use this opportunity to kind of let the audience know about your
album as well.
I appreciate that, man. So because I do a terrible job promoting my stuff, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like I just put it out.
Have you got a manager?
There you go, job done. I got a manager, DJ, producer, engineer, mix engineer, and that's it. You're looking at him. I do all of that, bro.
Mad.
That's why I was very proud of myself. Exactly. I was proud of this project. Exactly, bro. I saved a lot of money with this project. I'm not gonna lie. I've always had access to equipment. I've always been in studios. I've always
self-taught,
watched stuff.
I believe, is it?
Yeah.
Fucking mad.
But that whole project, it was mixed, engineered, recorded all by
Mad,
me. I
mad.
put it together myself.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the beats were produced by me too, and it was like the first time I was like doing this completely solo.
Yeah.
And I just made it in my upstairs in my apartment, my flat.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, at the time, I was very like and ahhing about
Yeah.
where I was with the projects. My last one was a straight slapper, and I was like,
Yeah.
they're big shoes to fill.
Yeah. People probably have a lot of high hopes now, innit?
Yeah, they had some high hopes, and then I think, in light of all like the events that have taken place in and around the world, like I changed a few lines, added a few songs, and then things actually made great sense for me. And I was like, I'm happy with it now.
Yeah,
That's good.
And then when I look at my catalogue of music, it was almost like it wrote itself quite brilliantly because my debut album was called Dreamland, and it was all about the hopes and aspirations of this young boy that wanted to be like a famous musician, and then he got in the music industry and was pretty much like raped by it. And that story was told in that initial album, and it was that raping by the industry that not literally or maybe we've heard about the stories.
Fucking hell.
It was about that time that sent me like proper crazy, you know what I mean? And that's when I had this whole Mike Reckless phase.
Oh yeah.
And a proper, oh man, but we're gonna have to do another podcast.
Yeah,
we have to
swear.
No,
We'll have a part 2. There's
let's do a
shitloads of
part
things
2
to
because
do.
I really wanna expose a lot of people.
Yeah.
So we could do that.
Wait,
another
one
time.
second. You're not exposing these people on any other podcast. You're coming back here to expose these people.
I'm 100% coming back here to
People are
expose.
gonna want to get you now.
Yeah, we actually have items on our merch shop that are designed by me and a Palestinian artist.
Oh, wow.
Or an advocate for Palestine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she created some really cool designs
Yeah,
using
yeah.
the song that I made. And 100% of all of them items, they all go to.
So go check out the website. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you to the main man here, of course. Thank you for coming down all the way from
This
there.
has been their first podcast. I've been their first guest, but I'm going to let you guys know this has been one of my favourite podcasts. I've
Cheers.
done,
Thank you very
honestly.
much.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
that.
You guys done an
Yeah.
amazing job. Little
Appreciate
round
it.
of
Thank you,
applause to
guys.
you guys.
Yeah.
I think you smashed
And
it.
I want to say personally, like, I really, really appreciate what you stand for, what you speak about, your music, everything. Because, like, I'm all about using art to spread messages. I always say this. If you've got some sort of artistic talent, don't waste it. Use it to spread a message. Use it to change the world. And
We've all felt the repercussions and the consequences for it. So
Yeah.
the support that we're getting now is actually really appreciated.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good example for people that are thinking about doing the same thing, whereas before they thought, I can't really step on that territory
Exactly.
because I'll be
I don't want to be
ostracized."
shadow banned.
But but now the more the merrier, and I think it's people like you guys set a really good example
Thank
for
you,
other
bro.
guys,
Thank
and
you.
I'll be here next time to talk
Quickly
about some of the
before we
English fan
leave,
stories.
you heard it from the man himself. He said he's gonna do an episode 2
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
in the near future, and obviously we'll try and make it a bit more light-hearted, maybe,
Yeah.
unless you're willing to drop
I think
some.
whatever we do
We're
with him,
gonna-
it's gonna be deep.
yeah,
That's
It's
it.
gonna
That's it.
turn out
Why
deep.
don't
We're
we
gonna have
just-
we're gonna have a real gossip
That's
episode.
it.
A couple of queens in there.
Let's do a loose woman kind of show.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys.
Thank you.
Cheers, bro, for coming.
That was great. I love that.